It was a guy, and his nose was wedged firmly in this girl's butt crack, and then she saran wrapped his head to her butt.
And then she did errands, and she walked around the kitchen, and she like turned the sink on, and
she's just farting.
And she's farting. He's like, she's like, yeah, you like those dirty farts, huh?
Yeah, it's like, I like anything with saran wrap and shit is funny.
Like sack lunch.
Sack lunch. There's this guy that has saran wrap diaper on, and he just the camera just pans to him, and he spreads his cheeks and fills it with diarrhea. The saran wrap. It's so funny. You know, it's simple, but it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Just like a meal, a fine meal.
What is good about that?
It's the sound, it's the timing.
It fills up fast.
Like it pans in just at the right, and then it turns ever so slightly, and the spread and the sound.
Yeah. There's just something about someone relishing a woman's farts, like holding onto their cheeks with his nose. Oh yeah. Oh baby.
We talked about it for a while, and then people wrote in that were into it, you know, because we were like,
tell us about this.
And then they would tell us, they were like, yeah, it goes back to like a pretty girl making something dirty, you know. So it's like,
oh my gosh,
I'm so embarrassed of what I did. So this guy, he wrote in that he was like my now his fiance, like, you know, knows and is cool, and like whenever she has to fart, she calls him over, and he gets so excited.
What the fuck?
He loves it. He loves it.
Come on, how strange are people? People are so strange.
She earned it. That's the thing about like Anna Nicole Smith when his fucking stupid kids wanted his estate. No, Anna Nicole was sucking his dick. Didn't you do a bit about this?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, it was one of my closers from 1999.
Wait, what was it?
Well, it was the whole thing about them saying like, oh my God, she's taking advantage of him. She's only with him for his money. I'm like, don't you think he fucking knows?
Right.
That guy made $1 billion from scratch. Chances are he's a tad crafty. And it was like this whole thing about like, how do you want to die? Do you want to die shaking and alone in your hospital bed surrounded by loved ones? Or do you want to get a big fat Kentucky Fried hooker and just blow it out? And that's what he did. And it was all him dying, telling her to lick his ass and all the different shit he did to her right before he died.
And the kids have done nothing. And they think they deserve. You were raised with all that fucking money. You went to private schools. You had tennis coaches. He probably bought you houses. Why do you need more? What the fuck did you do? You didn't suck his dick.
Yeah. You need to get your own money, stupid.
Right.
You rode the ride, and now it's over. And I think also, and this sounds fucked up, but that exists because it's a predatory situation. You're prey. You know, if you're a vulnerable, old, weak, emotional guy who also has $1 billion, women are going to prey on you.
Right.
They're going to pretend to be something they're not. And they might even convince themselves that they are that something that they're pretending to be, because their instinct to try to acquire your wealth and your social status is so strong that they want to be the Trump girl. They want to be the new girl that Trump leaves his wife for.
Health, man. When I heard you tell that podcast, and I'm so glad to know that you were talking to me, because I heard it as if you were talking to me. I told Brian Callen, I go, you ever do a podcast and you think Joe's talking to you? And he goes, all the fucking time.
I'm never talking to you, Brian Callen. Never. If I'm talking to Brian Callen, I'll call him up.
He said, he goes, one time Joe even said my name.
So, if you think about how ridiculous it is, if people didn't know that having sex with people has consequences, and by that I mean you can get pregnant, you can get diseases. If there was and there's cultural limitations, people frown upon it. But if there was none of those, can you imagine how much people would be fucking?
Oh yeah,
it would be insane.
Yeah.
If there was no such thing as masturbating,
you could fuck at a gas station. People would be fucking
If there was no such, if masturbation wasn't possible, first of all, you know what would happen?
What?
Women would rule everything, 100%.
But men would have so much chi built up in them.
Nope. They'd be bitches. They'd be giving in every chance they could.
Oh, because the women would own it.
It would be worth so much more.
That's true.
Yeah, because women would be able to decide whether or not you came. There's the only way. If that was the only way, if women were the rulers of whether or not you came, if there was no way to come without them, oh my God, they would dominate.
We're fucked, dude. I know that's going to be the next law.
If they're really smart, that's how they would take over. Chop our arms off.
Dude, but you're telling me though, you wouldn't watch like a little like Chinese guy jerk off from like 30 feet away.
We're going back to this again.
No, but just tell me. I watch
train accidents. I don't want them to happen. If Jamie pulls up a video of a train accident, oh my God, you got to see this. I'm like, shit. Okay, go ahead. Karen. Imagine if your fucking kid's named Karen. What a bummer that must be if you're a nice person named Karen, and then Karen.
Well, it's like Corona beer. I mean, I can't believe they had to stop that. That makes me sad.
What do you mean? They stopped the name?
That's what I'm told. They stopped making it. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's the source I heard. But
I still enjoy a Corona. I'm not a fucking child.
I like Corona Light. But what am I going to do? And then AIDS candy. That was a smart move. You had to stop that diet candy.
Yeah, it makes you lose weight.
It's ironically sad.
Most people don't even know what we're talking about. It's AIDS, right?
Correct.
That's what it's called.
Correct.
It was a diet candy, like a chocolate.
Yeah.
That you would eat.
I never took it. I mean, it's like the X-Lax for dieting.
Oh, is it like a...
Well, X-Lax actually helps you diet also.
But all it does is just get rid of the food that's in your body. It just
It's
makes
not
you
healthy.
shit. No.
No, I was somewhere once and I was on Imodium because I was having a rough day. I don't know what happened.
That's another diuretic, right? Or
No, it's constipator.
Yeah.
I mean, it solidifies.
appetite suppressant candy. Oh, so it's an appetite suppressant. So it's not a...
No.
What is X-Lax? That's a
X-Lax makes you,
laxative.
it's a laxative.
Yeah.
It helps it
Makes
makes
you
you shit diarrhea,
Yeah.
explosively if you eat the
This-
whole box. You could shit yourself to death. You could OD on it.
What is barf? What is barf?
Barf is
detergent, it said.
Oh,
that's funny. Barf's a detergent. Is that real? They didn't discontinue it because
Terrible
people
product.
vomit.
did they find out they really did discontinue Corona beer? That sounds so ridiculous.
That's what I heard from somebody.
It's a classic.
There
It's a
was
great
also
beer.
a candy called anal warts that they decided to take off the market. You know, that's the kind of shit that
I see what
why
you
do
did
I do
there.
it?
You
You
couldn't
never
help
went
yourself.
there.
Couldn't help yourself. You know
I
what
don't
it is?
know.
All those years of Full House.
Although I am talking, this is not my podcast. This podcast belongs to the one and only Mr. Chris Ryan, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! Thank you.
Let everybody know what we're doing.
This is number 3 of our continuing series of Three Musketeer podcasts with Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell, and yours truly. So now we're in Joe's studio actually because I don't have a studio.
Well, we were trying to figure out if we should do our own podcast, and we said, nah, we already have 3 podcasts. Let's just swap off.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's really, we should name them though, just so that people could find them, because I think
Right.
a lot of these conversations are going to deal with some subjects that maybe they would want to reference, and they would forget which one it was, and we don't want them to have to listen to
Right.
X amount of hours.
So we should come up with a time. I mean, Three Musketeers is too easy. Circle jerk.
Tripod was one that someone
Tripod. The triangular.
I like the Three Amigos. Sounds
the
like
Three Amigos.
It
That's
sounds.
good,
I don't know. It sounds unpretentious.
How about the Lords of Truth?
yeah. Oh, that's not pretentious.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just kidding.
The spiritual arbiters of the Western world.
How about Shrimp Parade?
I just wanted to figure out a way to use
Shrimp
arbiters. What is a shrimp parade?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'd go to one though.
All right. I thought that was some sort of reference to our penises, but that's just
That's
the way I
because
think.
you always think about penis.
Well, you were just saying your
Immediately.
podcast was a sausage fest, Duncan, and then
I
you
meant
come up
literally.
with
I didn't.
shrink.
I wasn't using the term. That didn't mean phallus.
Oh, you just talk
You're
about
the
sausage
sexist.
a lot?
No, I just mean like, yeah, my podcast reminds me of a package of old, salty, briny, withered sausages that you might find at a secondhand meat store.
Briny.
what the fuck is a secondhand meat store? What a
Discarded old sausage. Once this guy, no, they,
What a great description, though.
Tra-
Secondhand meat store.
Trader Joe's is. I got to get more girls. I got to get more girls on my podcast.
Gals is what you said.
Sure, I said gals.
He's trying to be funny, though. He's trying to be funny. That's the reason.